107.5 WBLS. I have the pleasure of sitting with one of the shining stars of Earth, Wind, and Fire, an easy lover of the 80s, a dreamer of the 90s, and now coming in at number one on the Billboard charts with his new album for the Millennium Plus 10, Plus 20, is the one and only Mr. Philip Bailey. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Man, what a career.
Fantastic to see you again.
It's always a pleasure to see you, always. I want to start with 60 Seconds, which is a real fun interview. A lot of things people want to know about Philip Bailey, so we put together this rapid-fire interview.
Oh, okay.
All right? Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first celebrity crush.
Woo! I wasn't expecting that. First celebrity crush, Halle Berry.
Really? Travel back in time, what decade would you want to most revisit? If you could relive the 70s, 80s,
Oh,
90s,
my goodness.
or the 2000s.
I would not.
No, none
I
of
would
them?
pass, right.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I would have thought you had so much fun in the 70s.
I'm having so much fun right now.
Okay, so then it would be now.
Yeah.
You would revisit this time. Favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire song to perform?
Right now, right at this time, maybe write a song.
And which one do you say, I just don't
none
like
of
doing
them do I feel like,
oh, man.
I have to, because, we're serving it up,
Right.
to the public. So
And it's a different audience
yeah,
every
it's
time.
It's
so
different
you're
every
different
night.
energy.
Yeah.
First job.
Man, first job was cutting grass.
Oh, and you got paid?
I got paid. Funny story. And I started. I was with my little friend. I was probably around 8 years old, and my little friend was a year younger, and it was a little lady. And golly, ended up that I had to pay her some money, and I busted out crying.
Oh, because you didn't want to pay her.
After all that hot sun, because I had to give her half of it.
Wow. All right. What is your favorite love song of all time? Anybody's song. It could be anybody else's. It could be yours.
I wasn't prepared for any of these questions, so I'll just say Unforgettable.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Oh, definitely The Godfathers.
Really?
All of them.
Seen
I
it?
have to
All
see
of
them. I have
them?
to see them now, at least, once every couple of years. I just binge watch.
Right. What do you love most about New York City?
Watching people.
Yeah. We got some real different ones here. And if music wasn't your career, what would you be doing?
I would be in some shape, form, or fashion helping people sort out their emotional lives.
Wow. And what's your life motto?
To be the best Christ would have me to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's our 60 seconds. What a career. Also, it took you a very long time to get a celebrity crush, I see. All the way to Halle Berry.
The cool thing about this is I wasn't prepared for any of these things, and you got to answer. So.
Usually people talk about women they've had, like the Right On magazines, any kind of magazine on the wall.
Oh, okay.
People that they've had
right,
when they were teenagers,
right.
teenage crush. But that's interesting to know that, yours came when Halle Berry showed up. How did Maurice White show up in your life?
Actually, through a mutual friend of both of ours, introduced us on a concert that my band opened the show for the first group that Maurice had formed, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And that was
So we
Salty
met
Peppers?
then.
Were they still
they
Salty?
were Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, by
but
that time?
But it was on the Need of Love album. And they played in Denver. The band I was playing with and Larry Dunn was playing in. We opened the show, and that's how we actually met.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And did he just one night just say, "Listen"?
No, it was
man.
like there was a series of events, preordained, providence. I ended up being in Los Angeles through again Perry Jones, working for a group there, and when Maurice began to reform the group, because he asked me to be in the band, and then I went and got my guys, Larry Dunn and Andrew Woolfolk, who were in my group in Denver, and that's how we kind of put together the legendary Earth, Wind, and fire that everybody
How
knows.
many original members were there at that time? Like 10?
There
About
was
10 of them.
9.
9. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know when I saw in the 90s, it was massive.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was just that once had we made it and we were doing stadiums and all that kind of stuff. There wasn't any Pro Tools and all that stuff.
Right.
Like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and Maurice, we would sing everything. All the vocals and all that stuff, and layer them, and then the horns would layer parts as well. So to mirror what we were doing on stage. A couple tours, we had a couple extra background singers, and we had a couple extra horns here and there.
Okay. That
but
made it so
yeah,
vast.
that's
Yeah. So I know that you teamed up, Earth, Wind, and Fire teamed up with the Emotions. I just found out that you have a daughter with one of the Emotions.
right.
And does she sing too?
She has a wonderful voice. She couldn't help with her mom and dad, but she's a chemist. And,
Oh,
right,
wow.
yeah, and she's doing her thing
But
in
she
Los
can hold a
Angeles
note.
with my little grandson Gabriel and her
Oh.
husband, and so yeah,
And
her name is Peely.
Right.
Yeah, and my daughter over there, Trinity,
She is your
my right
assistant
hand,
and looks
and right,
every bit of you. Every bit
and
of
she
you.
just jammed me up yesterday about a song, write a song, because I wrote that song when I found out that Peely was conceived, and Trinity's dad. You got to write me a song.
Right.
So
right.
when I saw her this morning, I said, I was in the studio last night.
It's funny that you say that because I remember my daughter went to school with one of Stevie Wonder's children,
yeah,
and
right.
he was saying the same thing. He was
Right,
like,
Aisha,
my
right.
dad needs to make a song about me.
Right.
He's singing about Aisha. He needs to
Okay,
make
it
one
was
for
the
everyone
other
he
daughter.
got.
Okay, I got you.
You
right.
know, but I also, the last time I saw you in concert, I saw your son on stage.
Yeah,
so your
he's
son
still,
is
he's
now.
still out with us. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was playing, he was singing.
Mhm.
Does he have, do you think that eventually you'll see him take your position in the band?
You never know, because I never saw myself taking this position in the band.
Right.
I could have never dreamt. And before Maurice passed, actually, we had been touring without him for 25 years.
Yeah,
That's
I
a long
remember.
time.
Yeah.
And so I could have never seen myself doing this. So who knows?
Yeah. I think that could happen. He looks just like you too. You have super, super strong genes. So now you come in today and you say, I'm number one. I debuted at number one with the new album, Love Will Find a Way. And initially, I thought that was a tribute to Lionel Richie and that song, but it's not.
Pharoah Sanders. It's a Pharoah Sanders song.
Oh.
Actually, yes. And there were a couple versions of that song, and I was streaming after we had pretty much finished doing most of the record, and found that song and asked Casey Benjamin, a young saxophonist, plays Iwi and stuff, to do a duet with me. And so, yeah.
Oh, okay. But there is a tribute also to Curtis Mayfield.
Oh yeah. Oh
We're
yeah.
a winner, and Just to Keep You Satisfied, Marvin Gaye.
We tried to pick those songs that really helped us through the turbulent '60s and stuff. Given what we've been going through, for the last few years and everything, social, tensions and so forth. And so, those Curtis Mayfield songs just really resonate in the
Right.
community.
And they still
Robert
resonate.
Glasper actually arranged those, the Curtis Mayfield songs, and
Marvin Gaye.
co-produced them and stuff. But I have a lineup there on this project that I'm so proud of, and we had a great time. Took over 2 years to do, self-funded, and once we got finished, we were fortunate enough to partner with Verve.
Wow. What a blessing to still be here and find a way to bring love through once again after, I don't even know how many years. I'm not even
That's
going
our
to try to
weapon
do
of
the math.
choice. Music is, our weapon of choice. And so, we just have to speak to, the situations in the way that we do, musically.
What would you say to musicians listening right now to have the kind of longevity that Earth, Wind, and Fire has had?
Well, we're just extremely blessed, and you couldn't have foreseen that we would be around,
This
five
long.
decades or whatever. But
I
yeah, you
understand
know
why,
what?
though.
We our mission statement was to really to do music that made a difference, to people. And so I think that Maurice was really ahead of his time and just, choosing his intent
Yeah.
on why we were doing music and stuff. So it's really been something that has resonated with all of our fans and that we're still continuing to gather all over
Right.
the world. And so we're having a great time. And I think, finding a need and fill that need is one of the things that I would
Right.
say.
And stay true to your
Yep.
craft, just like you all have for many, 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 many years. Because even though we get the Earth, Wind, and Fire projects, we were still getting Philip Bailey. You still, came out Easy Lover, Your Dreams album, even gospel.
Right.
You gave us a gospel album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I won a Grammy for one of those. I
Yes, you
did
did.
3 of them. But you know what? It's always been about really just um, pushing the envelope and moving forward. I've always loved music. Has always loved me, and I've always loved music. And I try to do things that keep me engaged and excited about the art.
Did your mom tell you that you discovered those 4 octaves? What, in the nursery?
My
Because
mom said I was singing
singing,
before I was talking. Right.
really,
So was Philip. Yeah.
it seemed like it. How did you discover those 4 octaves? Was
Well,
it
I
through
didn't really discover it. It just kind of discovered me. I was just mimicking what I was hearing,
like who?
Sarah Vaughan and Mahalia Jackson and different people I was listening,
Right,
as a kid. So I just sang whatever I heard.
right.
And but I'm a natural baritone, so I studied operatic baritone in college a
Wow.
little bit, and so just hooking up the different octaves with the instrument, has been the
And
trick.
yeah, but that has been over time. But when you were young, you were singing.
Oh man, I just anything I heard, you know.
Now, I've always wanted to ask you though about Reasons. Reasons, was that just one night that you decided to do it that way, and that's how it became this phenomena?
Yeah,
Because
that was just in motion. We were just playing before. I think that was recorded in either Oakland or Atlanta.
okay,
But yeah, we recorded several nights of that gratitude album in different cities.
and that was the one that
This
stuck.
one, yeah,
It just seemed because when you hear Reasons, the studio track
right,
sounds nothing like it, but it
right,
just like a spirit took over you this particular night and gave us something that we cherish, an 8-minute version, I think it is, that we cherish
right.
for many, many years. Um, is this album going to have a tour, or are you going to try to put a little of Philip Bailey in the Earth, Wind, and Fire tour? How's that going to
Well,
work?
we just finished doing a 2 weeks city winery tour of different
Oh,
cities. We were here
okay.
in New York a couple weeks ago, and yeah, in between, I called my solo stuff my night gig, and Earth, Wind, and Fire my day gig. So in between my day gig,
And
we're
your
gonna
night
do
gig, right?
do other solo things and stuff. We're having a lot of fun doing it.
Wow. Well, I wish you much more success on this album, and just as much success as you have experienced over the 5-6 decades that we've had you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. You can get the album "Love Will Find a Way" on Spotify. That's what I was listening to. What else can you get? You
Yeah.
can get it anywhere you can get music except
And
the
I
bootlegger.
think Amazon and do me a favor, please listen, from beginning to end if you get a chance. If you're riding around, if you're stuck in traffic, listen to the whole project, and then share it with your friends and
Right.
post what your thoughts are and stuff because that's very important these days.
Yeah, absolutely. So get it. Philip Bailey, Love Will Find a Way. And get some tickets if you can, because I tried to get tickets for tonight at the Beacon Theater. Earth, Wind, and Fire will perform, and they'll also be at the Beacon Theater tomorrow night as well. Always a pleasure to talk
It's
to you.
always a
Thank
pleasure to
you
talk to you. It's
for
always,
taking the time.
always been too long. We
Yeah,
got
too much of a time
too
span.
much of a time gap.
So,
Yeah.
you've got to get in here. That's
I'll
on
come
you.
by when we're
I'm
in
going to
New
blame
York,
you for that.
just to say hey.
I'm going to have to talk to your daughter, and she'll get you in here.
Right.
Thank you. Philip Bailey, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much.